Yo, people, what is going on? And we're back. We're back for a brand new episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 18. After 3 weeks,
A
after a
3 week
3 week
hiatus,
break,
bro. A three
we
week
are,
hiatus.
yes, a 3 week hiatus. We are back. It's me, Jan, and Malcolm. We are your hosts as per usual. How are you, bro? Long time no see.
Oh,
Back here.
I mean, back here, yes, but we've seen each other last week and also this week, no?
Yeah,
No, last,
exactly,
no,
exactly.
no, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago during the feast,
Yeah,
actually. Well, we had the feast here in Mostar 2 weeks ago. Great
yeah.
feast, awesome. Then from last week back to work, full week, and now this week, hopefully, today I had work, tomorrow I have work, and then Wednesday I'm off to Cyprus with two friends of mine, hoping for a
Lovely.
good trip, and looking forward to it.
Lovely
But other
stuff.
than that, 2 week hiatus, bro. It was relaxed, fairly relaxed.
Yeah, yeah.
We needed a bit of a break, but now back at it, thankfully. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Very hectic last few weeks, especially this month. This week sorry, another week so far. It's been a little bit less stressful, if that's the word for it. But yeah, a couple of very stressful last few weeks. But overall, I'm doing okay. It's great to have Formula One back. A 3 week hiatus. These 3 weeks, those 3 weeks flew by. Let's be
Very
honest.
true, true, very true.
At least those 3 weeks flew by, and now we're back for the last 10 races of the 2024 season, and we have a lot to talk about
It's the
today.
business. Listen, it's the
It's the
business
best.
end now.
Yeah,
It's the
absolutely.
business end, bro.
All right, guys. Before we begin, as always, make sure to, if this is your first time listening to our podcast, make sure to give us a like, follow, and share on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You know the vibes. On Spotify, for our Spotify listeners, make sure to follow us, hit us with a rating, and let us know your thoughts on the polls we put out on each episode. And with that, let's get into today's episode. We don't only have the Zandvoort Grand Prix to talk about, bro, but we have a
A
lot of
lot,
news to
a
talk
lot.
about
Listen,
off the
it's
track.
been it's been 3 weeks, yeah, and
Yeah,
everything, bro, went down off the grid, out of Formula One, into Formula One. A
yeah,
lot, fam, a lot.
exactly,
But it's great to
exactly.
see. It's great to see, though. We would want it to be boring.
Yeah,
boring.
yeah.
We don't want it to be boring.
More news is better, bro. I mean, what do you talk about?
In terms of Formula One, yes. In terms of life, no.
No,
No
no,
news is good
absolutely,
news.
no,
But in Formula One
absolutely.
terms, yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna jump straight away into it. We've had more news related to driver transfers. It's pretty much we're finally reaching the last few slots of of the 2025 roster for next season, and our latest one again is one of the least surprising news in the driver rosters, and that is Jack Doohan. He will partner Pierre Gasly for the 2025 season. Another rookie heading to Formula One, another Aussie heading to Formula One as well. He'll be joining Oscar Piastri, and subject to obviously change. Danny Rick. He will be the latest Aussie in the Formula One seat. And for those obviously who don't know Jack Doohan, he is one of the reserve drivers of Alpine. He is also the son of the former MotoGP World Champion Mick Doohan. He was also part of the Red Bull Junior team before moving to the Alpine Academy 2 years ago. And he's currently obviously driving in the Formula 2 Championship. So he's going to be having a lot of he's going to be having obviously plenty of racing experience for heading to Formula One, and that's not only that's not only the first change. I'm happy with Alpine. We've also had Oliver Oakes joining in as team principal. Obviously, guys, Bruno Famin is no longer team principal. He stepped down after the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix. Um, Obviously, Oliver Oakes, he has already started his role as a as team principal, and obviously this guy of those who don't know who Oliver Oakes is, He is a former. He's was also not only a former racing driver. He was also a member of the Young Driver program of Red Bull, and he obviously used to compete in go karts and single seat racing in the early 2000s. And he's also the founder of the Tech Grand Prix. It's a team that drives both in the Formula 2 and Formula 3. And um, these are well needed changes for Alpine. Let's be honest here. So, bro,
Absolutely agree.
your thoughts on both these appointments?
Well, regarding Jack Doohan, I haven't seen much of him in Formula 2.
No.
I would be lying if I say that I've seen, but I believe this is one of the best decisions Alpine has made in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Alpine is no secret. I believe they wanted Carlos Sainz. They were pursuing Carlos Sainz along with Williams. But they seen Alpine as it was difficult to lure Carlos Sainz into Alpine, so they opted for Jack Doohan, which is good. I mean, it's a rookie, son of the legendary MotoGP rider Mick Doohan, which I'm a big fan of, by the way. And I believe this is a great opportunity. Jack Doohan and Pierre Gasly, a good foundation. Pierre Gasly is still relatively young. So I think it's a good foundation for Alpine to build on.
Yeah.
Now, regarding Oliver Oaks, a needed change. I hope they stick with him. That is definitely. I hope they stick with him, especially if he does decently. For example, last race now Alpine, Pierre Gasly finished in the top 10. They were decent. They were very decent. So, and a couple battles with Carlos Sainz as well.
Yeah.
They were very decent. They were very decent. So I hope that Alpine finally have made 2 steps in the right direction, and we hope that they continue to build upon them.
I agree. I agree. Listen, with Jack Doohan, he's obviously a rookie. He's going to be a rookie next season. They can't expect to put a lot of pressure on this
Absolutely
kid.
not, bro. Absolutely not.
Very, very young. Very, very young. Still very, very young.
But listen,
Also,
Pierre Gasly and Jack Doohan is a pretty solid pairing in my
yeah,
opinion.
it is. It is. It
It's a
is.
pretty solid
Obviously,
pairing.
Pierre Gasly is going to be that father figure for Jack Doohan. Looks
I wouldn't say father. I mean,
yeah, but
brotherly figure.
like a
Let's say
brotherly
brother.
figure.
Let's say
Yeah,
brotherly
exactly.
figure. I
But
mean, he's not
listen,
old, bro.
but he's been in Formula One for quite some time now, Pierre Gasly. I mean,
Exactly.
he
He's
has
he's
he
still
has the
and he's still
experience now.
he has experience and he's still relatively young, so it's a big
Yeah,
bonus for him and a big bonus for Jack Doohan.
and listen, another exciting talent heading into the sport. I mean, listen, obviously these drivers heading who are in Formula Two. There is a lot of exciting talent in that category, and the fact
I'm
that we're gonna see another
I'm ho-
another
I'm hoping
talent.
I'm hoping someone like Theo Pourchaire makes the jump.
Yeah,
I'm
because
hoping someone like Theo Pourchaire makes the
because
jump.
yeah, because there has been a history of really talented drivers like Nick De Vries, for example, who didn't have a lot of time, who didn't have who either had limited time or else had no chance at all to show their potential and worth in Formula One.
That's a
Um,
very subjective case with Nick De Vries to me,
yeah,
bro. To me, it's still stinges to me
yeah,
that RB didn't give him a proper chance, bro.
no,
That they
they
let him
didn't, they
go
didn't,
after half a season. That still grips
no.
gripes me, man.
So I really hope that listen, I mean, not every single talent that was in F2 was successful in Formula One. So I really hope that Jack is going will make his mark into the sport. He'll
Absolutely.
obviously he would obviously need some time to gel into the team. It's obviously
No
going to
doubt.
be it's going to be his first season. It's not just him,
But the
also
fact that
Oliver
he's but
Behrman
the
as
fact
well.
that but the fact that he's the reserve driver, I think that helps out a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
he's pretty familiar with the surroundings.
yeah, yeah,
He
exactly. I
was
mean,
he was in the paddock last weekend,
yeah, and the
and not just
fact,
last
listen,
weekend. So
the fact that he's also a reserve driver there, he already knows who the team,
yeah,
who
he's
the
pretty
team is.
familiar.
So very, very happy for him. Another talent heading into the highest level of the
To the
sport next
pinnacle.
season,
To the
and we're gonna have quite a number of rookies heading into next season. I mean, Kimi Antonelli might be the latest one. I mean, we're hearing rumors that in ones that we might hear an announce, we might hear his
Ooh.
unveiling of
With Mercedes.
with
With Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Mm.
That might be the next rookie heading into F1. That might probably be the most exciting talent of all the rookies. But Um,
In terms of potential,
yeah,
let's say.
in terms of potential, yeah, because listen, Antonelli,
According to Toto Wolff.
yeah, exactly. But
Let's just
listen, I mean, Antonelli, Berman, and also Jack Doohan, they are still they're still rough diamonds. They still have a
absolutely,
lot. They
absolutely,
still need to prove who they really are.
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm very pleased that Alpine looks like they are making a step in the right direction. And as for Oliver Oaks, again, time will tell if this is
I
the
hope
right
I
if
listen.
this
I
is the
hope
right
Alpine
call.
stick with him, man. I hope Alpine stick with
Yeah,
him.
they can't listen. They
They
can't.
can't keep chopping and changing. They can't keep doing it.
They can't. Yeah, exactly. They just can't keep changing. They can't just keep changing leaderships over and over and over because you're not going to stick the landing if you're going to keep if you're going to
No
keep
stability.
if you're
No
gonna keep making those
foundations.
changes. Listen, Bruno Famine was the wrong call. Was obviously the wrong call.
Yeah, but
But
yeah, Bruno Farman was a caretaker, was he?
what he was an interim man.
He was
He was on
interim.
on an interim role there. But
So
um, listen, I think Alpine this season they have to make the most out of it. I mean, they are in a very rocky phase in their season. I think it's I mean, pretty much right now their season is ruined. I mean, they've had a very difficult season. So let's hope that Oliver Oaks is given the time to make his mark for next season. But based on his experience, it looks like it's the right call. But obviously, time will tell at the moment
listen, so
because
far Alpine this season, Pierre Gasly has been there a bit of their shining light.
he had a really tough start though, Pierre Gasly. I mean,
He had a
let's
tough
be
start,
honest
and
here.
he's still been their shining light. Yeah, he did,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
he turned out to still be their shining light. So
Yeah, exactly.
respect. Hope for the best for Alpine. We hope that Jack Doohan gets to mimic his father's success in MotoGP.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
exactly.
I do hope for that to happen. But we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah,
Best of luck
yeah.
to Jack Doohan and to Oliver Oaks at Alpine.
Yeah. Listen, good on paper, great appointments for Alpine, but let's see. Obviously, let's obviously time will tell if these decisions would be fruitful. Come the future, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Um, moving on to Sauber, and Sauber have made two huge appointments. I mean, obviously, we
Major
still
moves.
they've obviously announced Nico Hulkenberg, who's going to be their first driver heading for next season. We still don't know who the second driver is going to be. Obviously, time will tell to see who will be their second driver. But up top, Sauber have made two huge appointments. Now, obviously, Sauber will be they are right now in a transitional period. They will be known as Audi in 2026, and they've made two big changes, and those changes are Mattia Binotto and Jonathan Wheatley, who is the sporting director of Red Bull. That is a huge.
That is a major coup.
That is a major coup for Alpine. Oh, for Sauber. Excuse me.
A
And
major coup.
on their website, it was revealed on the 1st of August that from 2026, they've secured a top-ranking expert with the future appointment of Jonathan Wheatley. He will be forming in the 2025 season, and him and Mattia Binotto will be basically the two leaders in charge of Sauber. Right now, it's Andreas Seidel, and it looks like they've seen enough with Andreas Seidel, and they will be heading to they will be obviously Binotto and Wheatley are going to be the two big faces of Sauber. Bro, I want to hear your thoughts on this. They these are huge appointments for Sauber.
Mega. Listen,
Obviously for Binotto, what he did with Ferrari was a bit of of missing out, on failing to reach his potential. But with Sauber, he
the
might
thing
have a
is,
chance here.
the thing is, yeah, Mattia Binotto, we all remember him from his time at Ferrari as he was the team principal. When
Yeah,
in reality, what he's gonna be, his role at Audi is his actual position.
yeah,
So team principal wasn't actually his position at Ferrari. His actual position is what's gonna be at now at Audi. And I
definitely.
think, and when he was at his actual position at Ferrari, he was decent. He was decent. He was very good. It was when he was into team principal where he was making mistakes.
Yeah,
But it was expected. Yes, I hated him. Every Ferrari fan hated him. I don't know anybody that liked him. But in reality, it wasn't really his position.
Yeah.
So in that regard, we give him the benefit of the doubt. Now at Audi, I don't know why you're smirking, bro. Why are you
No,
smirking?
because no, because I actually was gonna say, I actually liked him because he was making mistakes and
Yeah,
we
but
were
you're a
taking the
dickhead. Yeah, but
advantage
you're a
out of it.
dickhead. You're a dickhead, man. Listen, every
I used to call him,
non-Ferrari fan.
I used to call him Harry Potter. I used to call him Harry Potter because like he
I
used to
know. We
make
used to
so
call him.
many mistakes.
I know, and I used to laugh my ass off when you called him Harry Potter because I would agree.
Harry Potter from Temu, by the way, because
Yeah,
because
yeah,
because because of his
yeah.
glasses.
Harry Potter, they can't cast a spell.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that was like Ferrari in their banter era, basically, because he was
I mean,
making
I,
one
I mean,
mistake
I
and
mean,
with their
I mean,
strategies after
I mean,
another.
we're still kind of, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
We could spend an hour basically talking about I'm talking about your era, basically.
oh my God! Listen, your era is no different.
I mean,
Your era is no different, by the way.
yeah, yeah, but our banter era is long gone now. That was like
Yeah,
10 years
yeah,
ago.
but still, it still was a banter era. It still was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
banter
yeah.
era. You
But
dickhead.
now no longer. Now it's no longer because we're back on the fucking top now.
Yeah, we'll see how
When I
long
get
it
talk,
lasts.
when I get to talk about my team later on. But
Yeah,
anyways, back
we'll
to
see
your
how it
point.
lasts. Anyways, no, Mattia Binotto, yeah.
Ah, Jesus Christ
Oh,
Almighty.
we missed this, bro. We missed this.
Yeah, yeah, I did actually, man. It's been
We
3 weeks,
missed this.
so
We missed this. Actually. Anyways, what I was saying with Mattia Binotto, about Mattia Binotto,
yeah,
he's going to be in his actual position. So
yeah.
I think, regards to Audi, it's a great acquisition for them, and I think they're really starting to flex. Now, Jonathan Wheatley,
That's even better. That's even more impressive coup, by
regarding
the way.
Jonathan Wheatley, listen, this is the second big name Red Bull have lost.
Yeah,
First Adrian Newey, now Jonathan Wheatley. That's
and, pot-
two big
and
names.
potentially Christian Horner as well. Don't
If
rule that.
Christian
Don't.
if Christian Horner leaves, I told you before the start of this episode what would
Yeah,
happen with Max Verstappen.
yeah,
In my opinion. In my opinion. And I say he goes to Mercedes, you believe he would go to somewhere else. But regarding
yeah,
about moreover on that, this is the second biggest name Red Bull have lost. I think this
yeah,
gives more questions than answers for Red Bull
yeah.
because Red
I
Bull are
agree.
losing all the answers. Red Bull are losing all the answers, both off track and on track.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
with this with Audi, just like what Williams are doing, they're kind of making statements, bro. But with Audi is more risky because Audi haven't even had a race yet. So yes, they look shiny, they look bright, they look great,
Very
they sound
ambitious.
great,
It's a very ambitious
very
project what they're doing.
ambitious project. And it's not guaranteed success. We hope for the best, but it's not guaranteed. But in terms of news, in terms of statements, they're pretty big statements. Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
they are. And listen, um, and Jonathan Wheatley. I mean, you talked about a massive loss for Red Bull. It's a huge loss. I mean, listen, Jonathan Wheatley, this guy, he's been a senior figure for Red Bull for almost 2 decades now. I mean, he's won
20 years, bro.
13, 13 world titles with the team. And he's been,
He's a
obviously on
huge part
Christian,
of the team.
he's a massive part of the team. I mean, he's been with Christian Horner for over 18 years now. I mean, he's won under his regime. He's won 6 constructors and 7 world titles, both as a team manager and then and a sporting director. So he will go down as one of the key figures in Red Bull's history. So Sauber are gonna get a major. They're gonna get a major coup
Two major players,
with
bro.
Wheatley.
Two major
I
players.
think the Jonathan Wheatley one is even more impressive than the Mattia Binotto because listen, I mean
Different roles,
Wheatley
though, no? Different roles.
different roles because that on paper it looks like a
On
great
paper,
match.
with what they're doing, Audi, they're getting the best in class.
And listen, for me, if I was and listen, I think listen, we know Carlos Sainz is saying to Williams, but should he have been more patient next time and he should have gone he should have gone and taken the seat for Sauber because I don't
That's a
know,
good
but listen,
question.
but
That's a good
listen,
question, man. That's a
listen,
very good question.
listen. Come 2026, if Sauber get their car right and Williams are still in the bottom half of the grid, Carlos will,
Sainz will
will,
make
will
the jump.
Carlos will be very gutted by that because listen, going to Williams is a huge risk. I didn't mention this in the previous episode, but for me, for a driver like Carlos Sainz to head into Williams, it's a huge risk. Yes, they have an excellent driver pairing with him and Albin, but come 2026, if that Williams car is still at the back of the grid, that move would backfire for Carlos Sainz, and questions will be asked for him.
Now look, uh, that's a very good question, and I can understand the reason. Is it a risk? It is a risk, but I believe it's a good risk. And I'll tell you why. Sainz is still relatively young. Time is on his side. He's still out of contract. He might as well join a seat that's available in a pretty good project in Williams. Audi still haven't
Potentially,
potentially we're saying.
yeah.
Um and in regards to Audi, they still haven't had a race yet. So he might spend a season or two at Williams and then make the jump. What Danny Rick did with Renault after Red Bull.
I know, yeah.
He did the same thing. He believes in the Renault project. How much time did he spend? A year or two?
2 years, 2 years, two
Two
years, two
seasons.
years.
2 seasons. Sainz could end up the same. And listen, they're gonna have Nico Hulkenberg as their first driver, and their second driver, who's gonna be Bottas?
That we still don't know because that second seat for Sauber is up in the air at the moment.
Still,
Um, they
I
go.
think
I mean,
I
with
think
Nico.
Hulkenberg. Listen, Nico
Uh-huh.
Hulkenberg and Valtteri Bottas is a great pairing.
But I'm not sure if they're gonna go for Valtteri Bottas. For my guess is either they're gonna go with a rookie, or else I would go with Valtteri Bottas. I think for Bottas it would be his maybe last chance, his last chance saloon maybe to
His,
prove
his,
to
his
prove
last hurrah. Let's say
his
last
last
hurrah.
hurrah. Yeah, exactly.
Let's say last
But
hurrah.
that
Carlos Sainz, but with regards to Carlos Sainz, it's a good question. It's a good question. I can
yeah,
understand the reason, but it's a good risk with what he's doing joining
yeah,
Williams, in my opinion.
yeah. Fair enough.
A
Fair
great
enough.
teammate in Alex Albon. Great team principal in James Vowles. They have an ambitious project. And if it doesn't work out, time is still on his side. He's still
Yeah,
relatively young. He can make the jump to Audi if Audi want him and follow in his father's footsteps when his
no,
father was with the Audi rally team.
because the thing is, Audi wanted Sainz to be their number one target basically, and the fact that he's now going to Williams,
Maybe
that
because
maybe for
maybe
me,
listen.
yeah.
Maybe sorry.
No, no,
Maybe
don't worry, don't
is
worry.
it because Audi were not are going to be formed in 2 seasons?
Yeah, that might
If
be, I
Au- if
guess,
Au- if Au-
because yeah,
if Audi's going to be formed next season, they would have pounced for Sainz.
fair enough, I guess.
They would have pounched for Sainz then. I
Yeah,
believe they would have pounced for Sainz. But Sainz is like, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna take a 1 year sabbatical. I want to still be in Formula One.
no, no. I
He
mean,
saw
obviously,
he saw Williams as the most um potentially rewarding
yeah,
offer that he had on the table, and he opted for Williams. Which honestly, for me, I agree with him. I wouldn't
yeah.
go to Alpine.
No,
I
no,
would
no.
go to
I mean,
Williams. I'll pick Williams over Alpine
no,
still.
Williams, as much as the car is under the pace is not at the paces at the moment. Structure wise, they are way better than Alpine at the moment.
And
They're
listen,
far more. They have a far better structure and shape than what
and
Alpine have
let's
at the
not
moment.
forget,
So I agree with that.
and let's not forget as well, Williams are a big name in Formula
Yeah,
One.
huge
Let's not
name.
forget, Williams are up there with Ferrari and McLaren.
Yeah,
Let's not forget that. That as well plays a part.
huge name.
That's my
Yeah,
two cents on it.
but no, yeah. Just to wrap up, so we can get straight into the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Um, these are two big, ambitious signings for Sauber, and on paper, they are. I mean, not just on paper, but just so far, Sauber with these three signings, which obviously with Nico Hulkenberg's acquisition as well, um, things are looking really, really promising for Sauber. Obviously,
Yeah.
now we have to see who their second driver is going to be. But I'm expecting things to improve maybe halfway to next season, heading into 2026. Because let's face it, next season for Sauber is going to be another transitional year for them. I mean, I think their focus, we've said in the previous episodes, is going to be
Yeah, that's the that's when they
directly
started
on
giving the money.
2026, on
Yeah, absolutely.
2026,
Listen,
definitely.
I stated this 1,000 times. This season and next season, Sauber, they just want to get the season off, bro.
Yeah,
They want to get the season off the books. They want to get it over and done with. And if they could time travel to 2026 right now, if
they
they
will
could
do
just
it in a
do it with the
heartbeat.
press by with a press of a button, they would do it instantly. And I agree with them.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
would agree with them.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, so that is on Sauber. Now, bro, before we get into the Zandvoort Grand Prix, I mean, this is obviously a rumor. We're still about Adrian, we're going to talk about Adrian Newey. We still, questions still need to be asked on where his next destination is going to be. But according to Autosprint, which is the Italian magazine, the Italian Formula One magazine that has been going on for a number of years, and this magazine gets a lot of that gets what it gets many things right.
Critically acclaimed. Critically
It's a
acclaimed.
critically acclaimed, and it gets many news spot on. Um, it's being reported that Adrian Newey will be heading to Aston Martin. No, not McLaren, not Ferrari. I mean, Adrian Newey's wife has stated that she and her husband want to stay in the UK, and it looks like, obviously, subject to approval, and subject to the rumors of being confirmed, obviously, that Adrian Newey's next destination is going to be Aston Martin. Um, and it looks like Lawrence Stroll's blank checks have convinced Adrian Newey basically for joining the team. And not only that, it's been rumored as well that he might pursue Max Verstappen to be the driver replacing Fernando Alonso once Alonso retires. I mean, bro, imagine a lineup of him and fucking Lance Stroll in the team. I mean, that
You
is
know, you
like
know, you know how
a
wrong,
lineup,
bro. You know how wrong that sounds.
a lot, a
You know
lot.
how wrong that's a mismatch in
Complete
teammates.
mismatch,
It's a
complete
mismatch,
mismatch.
bro. First off, yeah. No hate towards Aston Martin. I think when they've been reintroduced back into the sport back in
Yeah,
21, I believe. Was it 21? 21, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
21. Very happy, very excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the thing is, yeah, Adrian Newey. Now, look, if he doesn't want to join Ferrari because he and his wife want to stay in the UK and don't want to relocate,
Fair enough.
no problems. Absolute no issues. I can understand that. Not a problem at all. But at least join a team that's actually ambitious and not driven by money and greed.
Cash is king.
For example, a team like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, McLaren. A team like Williams. Teams with history, with prestige. Teams that are dying to get back there. Especially
Yeah.
Williams. No hate against Aston Martin, but with Lawrence Stroll, that got his son Lance Stroll, so he's gonna produce a car, yeah, produce a car of the ages to be different by Lance Stroll.
It makes
I,
no
ca-
sense.
I can't fathom that, bro. Honestly, I hope it doesn't happen. I cannot fathom that. I'm sorry.
Listen, and you mentioned Williams. For me, I would have loved to see Adrian Newey in the Williams team. Basically, I
Absolutely,
mean,
absolutely, bro.
that would have been like the comeback of that would have been like the comeback, the return of the king, basically, or of one of the kings of Formula One, if I would have put it
Absolutely.
correctly.
Like
So
imagine Adrian Newey working alongside talented drivers and the team principal James Vowles and talented drivers like Alexander Albon and Carlos Sainz, bro.
the potential is there, to be honest, and
There's
I
so
would have
untapped
loved,
potential.
to see him there.
So much
Obviously,
untapped potential.
let's hope those rumors aren't true, man, because I just don't want to see
What a waste.
one of
What a waste it would be.
the greats of Formula One, of the great engineers in Formula One, going to a team driven and fueled just by money. It just doesn't make any sense for me for
No,
this move. I would have
absolutely.
loved, for me, my pick would have been definitely Williams.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't go with McLaren because we're doing so well at the moment that we
Yeah, but I
don't
use McLaren as an example though.
we don't really need him at this stage, to be honest. But anyhow, let's hope that news isn't true. and we'll
I hope,
see
bro, because
in
that
the
would be a
few.
big waste.
Yeah, it would be a big
That would
waste
be a
for
big
me.
waste. That would be a big waste to
Even for my
produce a masterpiece of a car to be driven by Lance Stroll. Get the fuck out of here, man.
yeah, man,
Get out of here.
it makes no fucking sense, man.
Get out of here, bro.
And
Now,
even and listen and even for Max Verstappen, I just don't want to see him in an Aston Martin team. I would
Max
have,
Verstappen with Lance Stroll. Now, look, he's not the worst of drivers, but
but
really,
he's not great either. Let's be honest.
like, he's mid. He's high.
Nah,
He's mid.
yeah, exactly.
We could say that, but
Anyhow, yeah, let's hope the rumors aren't true, and we'll see in a few weeks on how this news is gonna pan out.
yeah.
All right, let's get into the Grand Prix, Zandvoort in the Netherlands. I've 72 laps, bro. It's a track that's been in the Formula One calendar for a long time. It had a 35-year hiatus, and it returned into the F1 calendar in 2021. And
Thanks to
since
Max Verstappen.
and ever since, and you're speaking of Max Verstappen, ever since its return, this track has been dominated by one driver and one driver only, and that is the homeboy Max Verstappen. He has won every single race ever since it's returned. And personally, I love this track. It's a very quick track.
Tight and
It's
twisty.
it, it's a very tight and twisty track. He has 72 laps,
Tight and twisty.
and
Challenging,
um,
very challenging as well.
it's not an easy track either. Yeah,
No. It requires a lot of downforce.
yeah, and
Apart from the
sorry,
start
sorry,
finish straight, but it
yeah,
requires a lot of downforce. It's a tight and twisty track. I like that little banking corner where they go
yeah.
like
I,
this.
I love that as well. Yeah,
Absolutely love that. I'm a big fan of that. Absolutely
and
love that.
overtaking isn't as easy as it sounds
And there was
in that track
quite a bit
either.
this race. There was quite a bit
Yeah,
actually.
there was. The race now, obviously, we're talking about Max Verstappen. This is a track where his fans turn up in some style. I mean, Orange Army, every stand you see in that
Orange
track,
Army in full effect.
Orange Army in full effect, and even some famous, even some famous people from the Netherlands themselves that they made an appearance there.
Martin Garrix.
Armin van Buren and Martin Garrix are two such people
Martin Garrix is always there though.
yeah, he's always there. I mean,
He's always there in Zandvoort, Martin Garrix.
he's been there pretty much for ever since its hiatus, basically. So
He's always there, bro. Martin
yeah,
Garrix is always there.
but as much as for the atmosphere, it wasn't a memorable race. Let's be honest here. I mean, one such driver made a big statement, but the race itself, not much happened. It wasn't an eventful
There were a
race.
couple moments here and there.
There were some moments where there was some overtaking happening, but not like in more like in the middle portion of the pack. But
Yeah.
overall, not a memorable race. But we're gonna get through every single portion as always, guys. Now, before heading to qualifying, bro, I don't know if you've seen it, but Logan Sargent had a very nasty accident,
I
and
seen pictures of it. I didn't see it in
um,
motion.
it basically happened in the third round of free practice in turn four. He
I know
basically,
where. I have an
uh,
idea. Just off the
he,
banking, and you go
yeah,
into that little.
yeah, exactly. He crashed into the barriers of turn four, and his car made such an impact that it was it was
Caught fire.
it was caught on fire basically.
Caught fire.
Now Logan Sargent, luckily, he was very lucky that he walked out of there unscratched, but
Thank God.
that was a very ugly accident. I mean, the red flags were straight away out as soon as the accident happened. And the irony is that was an upgraded car for Logan Sargent, and as a result,
Immediately
um,
downgraded, bro.
it got straight away immediately downgraded. Yeah,
Immediately
exactly.
downgraded, man.
And he didn't took part in qualifying as expected. I mean, when that car has such an impact, you need a
Sucks, man.
lot
Absolutely sucks,
you
man.
need a lot of
Logan
time to
Sargent.
fix that car. Yeah.
I mean, Logan Sargent knows that he's on his way out now, so the only thing should be on his mind at the moment is to leave the team on a high.
Yeah, exactly. He
And
needs
that's
to
not the
make.
best, and that's the best way to start off your second part of the season.
Yeah, and for Williams,
Unfortunately, man.
unfortunately, their practice and qualifying their days turned from bad to worse because Alex Albon had a fantastic qualifying getting into the top 10, but unfortunately he was disqualified
Yeah.
for breaching regulations when it came to the technical non-conformity with the floor of his car, basically. So
Yeah.
he was
See,
disqualified,
because he eventually made it to Q3.
and it was such a shame because he had a
Absolutely.
fantastic qualifying for the team. And we said time and time again, Alex Albon is their only shining light of the team at the moment. So
Hopefully, Carlos Sainz adds some
and
shine to the team
hopefully,
this year
yeah,
along with
hopefully,
Albon.
hopefully Carlos Sainz will assist Alex in producing that spark next season. But time will tell, obviously, on how would that turn out. Um, Q1, bro, no surprises. I mean, it's the two Saubers again. It's the two Saubers of Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas expected where they are where they'll end up in qualifying. Um, Esteban Ocon, the Alpine of Esteban Ocon, um, um, finishing in 16th, and obviously Logan Sargent not taking part in qualifying. So that straight away puts him in the back of the grid.
Kind of odd to see Ocon out of Q1 and his teammate Gasly getting into Q3.
Yeah, very, very. I mean,
Kind of odd, bro.
Pierre Gasly has a great track record in Zandvoort, so I'm not really surprised that he
I
made it
guess
into
it depends on
Q3
track preference. Track
because that's
preference in the end.
on the track preference. Yeah, exactly. And and Daniel Ricciardo ended up in those Q1 phases and finishing in 16th, but obviously since the Albon's disqualification and Logan Sargent's straight away absence in first qualifying. He finished in 15th. In Q2, we've had two big shocks in Q2.
Yeah,
Um, we're gonna and that was Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton in 11th and 12th. And for Lewis Hamilton, that's a big shock because considering his recent pace of getting the podium places straight away and into the top five, and even Carlos Sainz is quite a surprise as well.
I don't know what happened there, to be honest, with both drivers. I don't know what happened there. They didn't have the pace?
No, they were
Was it a,
completely off it.
didn't have the pace? Because that's kind of strange. That actually is kind of strange. I
No,
didn't get to
actually,
watch qualifying because I reached the last minute of Q3 because I was watching Manchester United, unfortunately, and I thought qualifying was at 4 p.m.
no, it was a three though. It was a
I,
three.
I, I
So
actually thought it was at 4, so I'm like, okay, I'll watch the game till 3:30 and then qualifying at 4 p.m. But no, it wasn't.
and listen, considering how United performed in that game, I think it was best
I'd
to see
rather watch
qualify.
qualifying,
I'd
bro.
rather watch qualifying because
I'd rather watch
we're
qualifying.
back to being absolutely rubbish. But anyway,
That's a story for another day.
let's not go out of topic. But yeah, with Carlos Sainz and Hamilton, what happened was they set a time that was deemed enough for Q3, but obviously many drivers got a better lap time and they were knocked out into that Q2 phase. Joining them were the two Hasses, Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen, and Yuki Tsunoda in 12. Now with Lewis Hamilton, he faced a grid penalty
Yeah,
that put him in 15th place. So from bad to worse, basically for Lewis, and he
yeah,
had to make a lot of ground for the race to get into that top 10 places. But yeah, for Carlos and Lewis, a bit of a surprise to be knocked out in Q2, considering their pace. But how their race turned out, it was more of the opposite basically. So
yeah.
right now in Q3, Pierre Gasly in 10th. A great
Very impressive.
as I mentioned just now, Pierre has a decent record here in Zandvoort, and to get into Q3 with that Alpine is great stuff for him. The two, obviously, Alex Albon was in that top 10, but he got disqualified. So right sandwiched between Albon were the two Aston Martins, Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. Again, I think with Aston Martin, bro, I don't know if you agree with me on this.
Yeah,
Um, they're not having a great they're not having their season hasn't been as great as last season so far,
absolutely.
and they
much more
I
quieter.
think I think the reality check for them now is that they are in the middle pack of the teams right now because they
I think it's a reality check both as a team and both for a driver the stature of Fernando Alonso.
yeah, I
Let's
agree.
not
I agree.
let's not forget this dude just signed a multi-year deal this season.
And it hasn't worked out ever since, let's be honest.
Not really, not really. No. So I think maybe he might have done this contract extension a bit too early.
Yeah, I think he made the decision a bit too quickly, if I'm being honest.
I don't
I
know, bro. I
agree.
don't know, but
I agree.
it's not looking really bright at Aston Martin. And
The moment, no.
even though someone like Adrian Newey would join, it would be even more of a waste considering what they are right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree on that. Um, Again, Charles Leclerc in sixth. Ferrari, bro, underwhelming qualifying. Let's be honest here. I mean, you might be a
Both,
little.
listen,
Listen, you might be a little bit more positive than I do, but sixth and 11th isn't great for Ferrari for qualifying.
absolutely. Now, the race is a different story, thankfully.
Yeah,
But listen, that's the reality we are in right now.
yeah.
Leclerc himself even said it that Ferrari's problems are no quick fix.
No, they aren't.
They're no quick fix. And so, listen, at the moment, take what we've got. You don't get any points for Saturday, you get points
No.
for Sunday.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
at the moment, nothing you could do. We're the fourth best team at the moment, bro. I believe Mercedes are better than us. Even though this race
No,
they
I
were
agree.
not, but I still believe that Ferrari are still the fourth best team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Sergio Perez in fifth, a bit better for Checo. I mean, obviously Checo has been on a dreadful run of form, leading up to Zandvoort. So to get into the top five in qualifying it doesn't set the it
I
doesn't
mean, it's
set the word
alright.
alight, but it's all right at least. I mean,
I mean, it's alright. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah, I
alright.
agree.
It's
I
alright.
agree. Um, George Russell in fourth. I mean, considering how his teammate performed, that's a fantastic effort for George to get
Absolutely.
into the into the second row of the grid. And the top three, Oscar Piastri in third, the Max Verstappen in second, and Lando Norris in pole position with a 1 minute nine
I,
seconds and 109.673
that's about
seconds.
what 5/10. How
Yeah,
what?
5 tenths.
That's 5/10. That's crazy, bro.
That's a great lap for Lando Norris. And your thoughts on the top three? I mean, for McLaren wise, it's fantastic. I mean, this Oscar Piastri fell a little bit short.
I expect it slightly better from Max Verstappen, to be honest.
Yeah, same here, same here.
I didn't expect to Lando Norris leapfrog Max Verstappen by 5/10. I absolutely did not. That's
That
unbelievable.
that
That's
Mc,
unreal pace. That's
the
unreal
McLaren
pace.
McLaren our team McLaren this weekend was mega quick. I mean, both in
Was
the qualifying and in the race. And
that car was crazy this weekend,
that
man.
car was crazy. And listen, prior to this weekend, Zach Brown penned an open letter to the fans for the last 10 races, and he obviously he obviously announced that Andrea Stella signed a new contract with the team, and with that open letter, something's happening basically for these
I
last
didn't
10
see the
races.
open
I
letter.
mean,
What did the open letter say?
no, basically it's about the last 10 races. Basically, I mean, he
All
posted
right.
on his LinkedIn account. Basically, it's basically about the last 10 races. Nothing too special. But I think what he said in the open letter. I mean, he he means there's something's cooking there. I mean, he's cooking something
There's
really fishy there.
I think what you're meant to say what you want to say is
Yeah,
there's genuine hope and belief
yeah,
they
I
can
agree.
properly challenge for the title.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially when it comes to the race. So, um, again, considering how Max has been performing in this track, to set for Lando to set a mega lap like that, that is impressive stuff. And
Yeah.
again, bro, now we head into the race, and now now with Lando, he has this season he has made a habit of making poor starts, and in Zandvoort again this weekend, no exception again. He had another poor start. Max got the better out of him in turn one, and for at least the first couple of laps, I don't know if you agree with me, bro, but I think for the first couple of laps, it was gonna be same old, same old. What do you think?
Not really,
Uh-huh.
bro, because listen, at first he was gaining a bit of advantage, 2, 3 seconds, but there wasn't much. But
No.
then as the laps were going by lap 18,
Yeah.
Lando Norris caught up with Max Verstappen as Max Verstappen was having problems with his tires. Now,
Yeah.
this is what I want to mention about McLaren, yeah. I've been noticing this for the last couple of races. When teams usually are on their medium stint, yeah, I want to talk about the medium stint
Yeah. Yeah.
specifically.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When teams are on their medium stints, when they fire them up and they start going, they start to dwindle down. They start to lose tire wear, the grip.
It's natural.
McLaren, on the other hand, which is natural, McLaren, on the other hand, are different. Somehow, the more the race goes on, their tires last way longer, and they have more grip that lasts than it lasts than more than how do you say it? That lasts more than the other teams,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah. It is.
And that has a lot to do with the chassis. I don't
Yeah.
know what they do. I don't know how the chassis is built. No idea. But to be able to do that, absolutely amazing. For example, we seen at the end of the race what Lando Norris did when he was on
Yeah.
the hards. I don't know how many laps he was on, but they were pretty old hards.
Yeah. They were.
And to still do what he did, even though with pretty old hards. So that's what I'm noticing. Lap 18, Max Verstappen was complaining that his tires were going.
And he
Norris was
breezed
just
past
having
him easily.
and Norris's tires, medium tires, they were on the same set on mediums. Lando Norris's tires were just starting to take off on lap 18, which is
We're getting
crazy, bro.
the one thing I'm noticing as well.
I'm
How that
I'm impressed. I'm
no,
I'm, I'm absolutely impressed.
even I mean I'm over the moon right now with how my team is performing at the moment. And another thing I'm noticing as well is that on the straights, the car is a
It's
rocket
a
ship,
jet. It's
man.
a
It's
jet,
a rocket.
bro.
It's a rocket ship. That car is a rocket ship, man. And
It's a jet.
I've at the start of the season, I hoped that we would get the car spot on from race one, and to not repeat the same mistakes that we did in the previous season before. And Andrea Stella and Zach Brown and the rest of the team have have answered my prayers in some fashion because
They work
we
wonders, bro.
they are working wonders at the moment, and the car is getting better and better and better every single weekend. It's getting better because
Listen. Ever since Silverstone last season, McLaren has just been on the up.
no, continuously is on the up.
Just been on the up and no sign of slowing down.
I can't
The,
remember.
in reality, listen, bro. The only downfall for McLaren was themselves in some
Yeah,
races.
yeah, because I can't remember honestly. I can't remember a weekend where we were completely off the pace. We had some weekends where we maybe we weren't in the top five. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I think so. Sorry about that.
Don't worry, bro.
Hang on. No, as I was saying, um,
Go on,
oh,
sneeze.
fuck.
Go on, sneeze.
It,
Go
do-
on,
it,
sneeze. Come on.
it doesn't want me to sneeze. It doesn't want me to sneeze. But anyhow, um, obviously, there were a couple of weekends where we were outside the top five, maybe, or just okay. Now I sneeze.
Bless
Okay,
you. Bless you.
thank you, thank you. Finally. Anyways, let's rewind a bit. Um, I mean, we've had a couple of weekends. Yes, we were maybe not in the top three, or maybe just outside the top five, but our weekends were mostly compromised from mistakes within the team, whether it's the drivers or within
Creating
the
your own downfall.
with the strategies of the team. That's where our weekends are being compromised basically because with the performance of the car, it's right up there with Red Bull. I think right now, based on form, you can't deny this, bro. On based on form, we are the team to beat at the moment, not Red
Absolutely.
Bull,
I agree. I agree. I agree.
because
I
because
agree with that.
this race, I mean, I mean, we got the pit stops. We got our pit stop strategies were absolutely spot on.
Great
But
calls.
Lando Norris, from after since soon as he did that overtake, he dominated the race. Complete and utter domination from Lando. His pit stops were spot on. The
Listen,
gap
he
was
won. Listen,
increasing.
bro,
Yeah,
he won the race by 22 and a half
yeah,
seconds,
I was getting to that, but I mean,
which is the biggest margin this season.
lap after lap, the gap between him and Max was increasing every single lap, and he won the race. He not only won the race, he not only won the race, he won the race comfortably. I mean, he got
Absolutely comfortably.
he won the
Bro,
race by
so
20.
comfortably,
Yeah,
so comfortably that not just he
yeah,
didn't just win the race by 22.5 seconds. He also did the fastest lap in the final lap on old
on
hards,
old hards. Yeah, exactly, because he
which
won
is
the
crazy.
race. He won the race by over 20 seconds, which that is uncalled. That is uncalled for. I mean,
He
the
didn't have
last
to.
time
He didn't have
he
to, but he's
he,
just like, yeah, fuck it,
he
I'm
didn't
gonna
have to,
do it.
but to set the fastest lap on old tires is unbelievable stuff. And this, for me, I know the driver standings at the moment. There's like a considerable gap between Max and Lando, but this is a statement of intent for Lando Norris. I mean, to win the race
And
by
a
all.
much needed statement of intent.
No, it's a much needed, obviously, because obviously Lando last couple of races his frustrations he was getting really frustrated with how his races were turning out. Um, to win the race by such a large margin. I mean, to win a race by such a large margin, to get the fastest lap, and to on all tracks to beat your fiercest rival at the moment at his home circuit. That for me is brilliant stuff. I can't give it a count of 10 performance because he made a poor start, but
Yeah,
overall,
but I think you can. I think that's purely rectified. I think that
yeah,
poor
it
start
was, yeah,
was purely rectified.
yeah. Obviously, he learned, he recovered from his poor start, but this is sensational. This was a sensational drive from Lando
I
Norris.
agree.
So sensational that Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc were shocked by the gap, by Lando's gap,
Yep.
and this is going to shake up not just the drivers, for me, not just the drivers championship, but also the constructors championship, because right now we are just 30 points behind Red Bull, because
And the constructors, yeah.
Perez had another poor race, because for and Max once again didn't win a race. I mean, for Max now, that's how much now? 5 races now since he last won a race.
Five in a row, I believe.
5 or 6 in a row now since he last won a race.
I gotta check. I gotta check. I gotta check.
So listen, Red Bull might be scratching their heads a little bit, and start to worry a little bit now, um because we are literally right up on their arses at the moment. No pun.
Last
No, no, no.
last time he won was in Spain.
Yeah, quite a long time ago now, because obviously then Monaco Leclerc won, and then was the different drivers won started to win more races then. But utterly brilliant from Lando, easily driver of the day. There's no debates on that. I mean, I don't know about you, bro. I think you should agree.
I give it to him. I give it to him, but I would like to give an honorable mention also to Carlos Sainz, and we'll get to him.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd like to give an honorable mention both to Sainz and to Leclerc. To
I
be
think
honest,
I think more Leclerc than Sainz, to
Leclerc.
be honest.
It's
I think
between Leclerc and honorable mention. Both Ferrari drivers, I'd give them honorable mentions.
yeah.
But we'll get to
But
them.
before we get to Ferrari, um, Max Verstappen for me, I think questions have to be answered by Red Bull. What do you think?
Like I told you with the Jonathan Wheatley situation, bro. More questions than answers.
Yeah,
More questions
they're
than answers for Red Bull.
listen. At the start of the season, we were concerned that Red Bull were going to have another dominance. I mean, for the first couple of races, it was showing that Red Bull were going to have another dominant season, but
Not the case at all.
it's not the case anymore, because
Not the case at
as I
all.
mentioned, this with obviously with Sergio Perez's dreadful form at the
I think.
moment.
Listen, from the third race of the season, from Australia, bro.
Yeah,
From
it's not
Australia.
because listen.
When have you seen? When
Yeah,
have we seen Red Bull having a mechanical failure?
no, we haven't seen
When was the last time we seen apart before
that's rare.
Australia?
That's rare. That is very rare. And listen, and it's not just because listen, when Perez was underperforming, Max was at least winning races, but now that's not the case anymore, because Checo is still underperforming big time for them, and somehow Helmut Marko and Co are happy for him to give him another to give him a chance to the end of the season. A change should have happened beforehand, but now Max is not winning races. Yes, he's getting into the podium places, but he's not winning races, man. And
More questions than answers, man. More questions than answers.
he listen. Obviously, Max is a driver with so much resilience with his character, but
He's a
he's
three-time world
not.
champion.
He's a three-time world champion, potentially a four-time world champion, but he's not as comfortable as he was at the start of the
No,
season now as he is before because
absolutely.
Lando is catching up on him now.
All the teams have
Continuous,
all the teams have caught
yeah,
up to him, really.
exactly. Listen,
Listen. The driver standings and the constructors, they say one side of the story,
yeah,
but on track, it's a completely different story because everyone
I
is
agree.
catching up to him.
Yeah, I agree. I
Oh,
agree. I
first of
agree.
all, Lando Norris overtook him. Lando
Yeah,
Norris overtook him for me,
he
and the
absolutely
rest
dominated the
they
race. He
caught
dominated the race,
they
man.
caught up to him. They caught up to him. Max
And the re-
Verstappen ain't so dominant nowadays. He
no,
is winning
he ain't so
races,
dominant.
but he ain't gonna win them easy.
You can't have a talented driver and then the car's underperforming. Then you can't make a lot of miracles with that. I mean, very few drivers can make miracles with an underperforming car at the moment. But
Yeah.
yeah, and listen, Checo as well. I mean, Checo finished sixth in the race, and that's another underwhelming performance for him. So he's
Both
not. I mean,
overtaken by both Ferraris
yeah,
in the
and
race.
that Red Bull was struggling that week, and it wasn't
Nope.
the McLaren was the quickest car all weekend. So
Yeah.
again, um, uh, questions need to be answered for Red Bull, and that's not that and for that to happen in Max's home race, it's not pretty at all. Basically, um, we've mentioned Ferrari a few minutes ago. Charles Leclerc in third, fantastic
Absolutely.
result for the team.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Listen. Charles Leclerc even stated himself that it would be a miracle. It would be a miracle for Ferrari to get a podium this weekend.
Yeah,
Not only did he get a podium, but he was consistently on pace with Oscar Piastri's McLaren for
yeah,
30 laps. And
yeah.
Oscar Piastri couldn't overtake him. And then McLaren was super quick with an underperforming Ferrari car. That is very impressive.
And the fact also that they got the better, I mean, Leclerc got the better out of Oscar Piastri because Oscar Piastri it was looking very likely that he was gonna secure the third spot, but
Also,
um,
great calls from the team with the pit stops. Great calls from the team.
yeah, and
So, for
uh
me, great performance. Great all-round performance from both drivers and the team for me. Very
and
happy.
obviously they sandwiched Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri, just to mention him very quickly, a little bit disappointed that he didn't got a podium place. He wasn't. Unfortunately, Oscar wasn't on the same pace as Lando. He did struggle a bit in that portion when the drivers were making their pit stops. And yeah, for him, fourth place. Listen, fourth place is still a great result for him. That's more points besides Lando's win um, for the team. But he would have obviously preferred to get into that third spot. Carlos Sainz in fifth again, bro. I think
Oh,
I think you've already
mega,
mentioned him. Mentioned for him. That's a great result for him because if
mega
you,
drive.
where he
Great
started
con-
in the start of the
con-
race,
Absolutely, mega drive. Great overtakes on Alonso and Sergio Perez as well
yeah, I
in the
agree.
first corner, both into turn one.
And
Mega,
to recover from starting outside the top 10 is
absolutely,
fantastic stuff for them.
mega drive. I'm
Um,
I'm very happy with Ferrari's performance this race. Very
yeah, yeah,
happy.
I shouldn't complain as well if I was a Ferrari fan as well with
Consider
that
consider
performance, considering how
consider
they're performing.
considering
Yeah,
considering where we are at the moment, I
yeah,
can't complain.
yeah. Perez, we mentioned him before, finishing sixth, underwhelming for him again. Yes, a top 10 finish, but come on, you expect far better for Checo
Uh,
to be in that Red Bull.
Absolutely. But listen, at the moment, Checo's not the only Red Bull's only headache now.
Yeah, they have a lot of headache. They
They
have a
have a
lot of
lot,
headaches at the moment.
bro. They need a lot of paracetamol, paradols.
Panadol extras. Yeah, they need a lot of those at
Yeah,
the
they
moment.
need a lot, bro. They
Yeah,
are flooded with headaches.
yeah. Um, seventh and eighth are the two Mercedes with George Russell and Lewis Hamilton.
Now look,
Not
consider
great. Not great. Not great.
listen. Apart from Hamilton starting in 14th or 15th, was it?
15th because of his grid drop. Yeah.
I'll let that slide. Russell started P4. Let's not forget.
No, for us that was a poor race for George Russell. He will be disappointed with that. But
So considering how they ended the first half of the
Yeah,
season in Belgium, of course Russell was disqualified and Hamilton ended up winning the race,
yeah,
but they still finished 1-2.
yeah.
So, so not the best of starts to the second half of the season for Mercedes, if I'm honest.
No, no, no. I agree. Um, uh, I think they were just simply off the pace as well. I think that it was. I think it was a poor weekend in the office for
Yeah,
them. But
yeah,
listen, at least a few more points. But considering how both McLaren and Ferrari and Red Bull getting big points in the bag, that's not a great weekend for Mercedes. So
yeah.
hopefully, far more better things to come when we go to Monza this weekend.
The Sunday.
Um, Pierre Gasly in ninth, fantastic,
Impressive,
impressive
impressive,
2 points for Pierre,
very impressive.
and Fernando Alonso in 10th. That's a poor point to be honest for Aston Martin. I mean,
A measly point. I mean,
one measly point, but
better
not
than nothing.
not
But
great.
if they're gonna get Adrian Newey, bro, they need to make bigger statements.
No, they have to. They have
I mean,
to.
we're not expecting them to win races, but at least be competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Even
uh,
Lance Stroll started. Where did he start? He was in Q3, no,
yeah, the top 10. He was in the top 10. Yeah,
and he finished 13th. Like, bro, really, nigga? Like,
crap,
really,
crap,
bro?
crap
Come
for
on,
them.
man. Really,
Crap
bro?
for them. And that's pretty much the top 10. No retirements, bro. And no yellow flags. So it was again, it was a
It was a clean
pretty,
race,
it was a,
pristine race,
it was a clean race. But not
very pristine.
very pristine race. Nothing to write home about. Very obviously extremely.
I like that moment. That was like an IndyCar 500
Yeah,
moment on the
yeah,
start of the
exactly.
straight, which Albon deemed very dangerous.
Yeah. Come on, bro. You're in Formula One. You're going to expect competitive racing. So cut the bullshit and just fucking race. I mean that's all I can say.
Well,
So
and listen, Magnussen was a sitting duck on that start finish straight,
yeah, he
bro.
was.
He
He
got
was.
overtaken by 4 cars. I felt sorry for him,
He was a
bro.
helpless
That-
chicken, basically.
that was like me when I'm playing Formula One in Monza, 0-0 wings. I'm in first, and there's 3 cars right behind me,
Yeah,
and they jet past me with the DRS.
get
That's how
absolutely
I felt.
bulldozed.
Yeah, I felt for
Yeah.
Magnussen there, bro.
No, no,
Absolutely.
no, that's
Yeah.
very impressive.
Twice for
And
Norris and one for Piastri.
at in the back for McLaren. I mean, we are continuously on the up at the moment. Lando Norris is my driver of the day. There's no debates on that. Um,
I'll give it to
Losers.
Norris. I'll give it to Norris as well, but
Yeah,
I'd like to give an honorable mention to my team Ferrari, to be
yeah, yeah.
honest.
I agree on that. To
I'd
be
like to give
honest.
them an honorable mention. They were very impressive, and with what we're at the moment,
Yeah.
can't complain. Very happy with it.
But the losers of the day are Red Bull, bro. They have to be. They
Yeah,
have to be.
yeah.
This is
They
a
sucked.
setback. This is a
They sucked.
setback for them.
They were garbage, bro. They were garbage. Like, how can you start to lose grip on the mediums on lap 18 when your rivals, the McLarens, are just setting up on fire? Are
Yeah,
just no, sorry, are just
definitely.
starting to come alive. That's one.
I
Two,
agree.
you lose the race by 22 seconds. Max Verstappen used to do that last season.
How the tables have turned now.
Absolutely,
Tables have turned. Um,
absolutely.
as for Dick of the Day and Clown of the Day, I don't really have any picks to be honest, because there was
Yeah, not
not
really.
really not much happened to be honest in the race. So
It was too clean, bro. It was
yeah,
pristine.
yeah, it was.
It was too polished, bro. No.
All right. If we look at the standings, bro, I mean, we've mentioned the gap is decreasing with
70
every
points.
single race. Verstappen is on 295 points. Lando Norris is on 225 points. That's
Just
70
70
points now.
points. Just 70
So
points.
listen, the gap might be big at the moment, but
A lot
listen,
to play for, bro. A lot to
there's
play for.
there's still a long way to go. I mean, we still have a couple of races left, so anything could happen.
Yeah,
Anything could happen.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I still believe Max is gonna take home the title, but anything could happen.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. We still have a long way to go.
We're in the business
Um,
end now.
with the business end now, yeah,
We're in the
exactly.
business end now.
Um, Leclerc is in third with 192 points. Oscar Piastri in fourth with 179 points. Carlos Sainz in fifth with 172 points. Hamilton in sixth with 154 points. Sergio Perez in seventh with 139 points. George Russell in eighth with 122 points. And the two Aston Martins in ninth and 10th with Alonso with 50 points and Lance Stroll with 24 points. And the constructors, the same here, bro. The gap
Just
is
30
even
points,
less
man.
now
Just
with
30
Red Bull
points.
with 434 points and McLaren with 404 points.
30
And
point gap.
the heat is on. The
Yeah.
heat is well and truly on.
Yeah.
I believe now.
Listen. It's Gordon Ramsay settings now, bro.
Yeah,
It's Gordon
definitely.
Ramsay settings now.
Yeah, definitely.
Master chef. Master chef.
Yeah,
What's it gonna be?
yeah, I believe. Listen, if we continue at this rate, I would see us lifting that title come the end of the season. So
It
let's
would
see
be
how.
all thanks to Sergio Perez.
Yeah, but listen, also Lando and Oscar as well. We have to give as well.
Yeah,
But
of course. But Sergio Perez would be a big help for that.
and listen, and even Ferrari, 370 points. That listen, that even that gap. Listen, the gap is obviously going to be it's much bigger between Red Bull and Ferrari. But listen,
With where we're at now,
yeah,
finishing third, very good.
yeah, it's
Very
very
good.
good. So
Very
I
good.
wouldn't count Ferrari out completely, but I don't think they have as big of a chance as
Nah,
McLaren have at the moment.
nah,
So,
nah.
but
Just like, listen, it's no
yeah,
quick fix. The car is no quick fix.
no, I agree, I agree. Mercedes in fourth with 276 points. They still have quite a long way to go to get into the Ferrari and McLaren spots. Aston Martin in fifth with 74 points. Racing Bulls in sixth with 34 points. Haas in seventh with 27 points. Alpine in eighth with 13 points. Williams in ninth with 4 points, and Sauber are still pointless, bro. If Sauber, listen, we're gonna make a bet here.
All right, okay.
If Sauber managed to get a point by the end of this race, we need to take like some we need to make like a money bet or a drinks bet here because
Okay,
um
how we gonna do it though?
we have to meet in person, bro, for this. I mean, we need to
All right.
like take like a large pint or like down some shots or some shit
Listen,
like that.
hey,
We have
listen.
to do that.
Hey, bro, I can do that, no problem. The
Yeah.
problem is you because you're a lightweight, Jan.
Yeah, no, I'm lightweight, yeah, but listen, listen,
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay,
up for
okay,
it. I'm up for
okay,
it.
okay,
So
okay, okay. What's your prediction? If if Sauber score a point or not?
if they score a point, yeah, because
Okay,
the car is so bad at the moment.
okay. If they score a point, you and me are having 3 shots
Yeah, deal. Consider it done.
live on tape.
Live
Live
on
on
tape.
tape.
Oh shit,
Live
live
on
on
tape.
tape.
Don't you dare edit it.
Oh my
Don't you
god, live
dare
on
edit
tape.
it.
That's
Live
gonna be
on tape.
nuts. That's going to be nuts. But anyway, all right, I'm up for it.
Okay, okay, and listen, if
I'm
they
up
don't
for it.
score a point, I don't believe they will score a point.
I'm up for it.
What are you going to do for me if they don't score a point?
No, we just have to cancel the bet if they don't score a point. But
Okay, fair enough. So if they score a point, we have a tray of shots, 12 shots.
we'll do those shots before the start of the episode. So we'll give you the proof that we did those shots. So
All right. So, but like, we're gonna do them here, or we're gonna go to a bar.
we'll talk about that later on. But anyhow, guys,
All right.
um,
But you've been caught on tape.
yeah.
One way or
But
another, we're gonna do
I'm
it.
up for it. No, we're gonna do it. I'm up for it. I am up for it. I'm up for it. All right, guys.
Tina's gonna be so lit.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys. That is it. That is the end of this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and obviously, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow us on our socials, guys.
Glad to be
Now,
back, man. Thank
it's
God
glad
we're
to be
back.
back. Yeah, exactly.
Thank God,
Um,
man.
next episode is just a few days' time. We're heading to Monza now. Obviously, Malcolm is going to be abroad, so it's going to be just myself
Unfortunately, bro. Unfortunately,
doing
I'm
the
very sorry for
episode.
that, man.
But Malcolm is going to be back for the next for the following
Absolutely.
episode.
Absolutely,
So
bro.
it's gonna be just myself, guys, for this next episode. Hopefully, we have a great race. Like Monza is an iconic track, and
And I'm gonna miss it, bro.
and it's a
You know,
shame, bro. Yeah, it's a shame because
I'm gonna
it's our
miss.
home track.
I'm gonna miss two great events on Sunday. I'm gonna be in Cyprus. I'm gonna miss the Monza Grand Prix, and I'm gonna
And
miss United
United
versus
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
United
bro.
Liverpool. Yeah, you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
miss
miss
two big
both of
ones.
them, man. Which
Yeah,
is
but
bullshit.
you could watch the highlights though, so
I could
don't
watch the
stress out
highlights.
on
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, no issue, but
yeah,
gripes me.
no worries. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you for the next episode. Until then, hope you have a great week and peace.
Thank you and good night.
Night. And